I want to take you through a number of things that you definitely want to consider and do whenever you're creating a new post, a new page. And the first one has to do with the title. Whatever keyword that you're trying to rank for, it could be a phrase, could be long tail keyword, could be one word. You want that to be the first or second word in the title. So if we go to the search metrics study that we've been basically following throughout the course, I've been trying to take you through each of these categories. Position of keyword and title character, and position of keyword and title word. Of the top 30 search results for those 10,000 keywords they used in the study, the keyword that they were ranking for showed up as the 1.7th word in the title, so basically the first or second word. So as you see, if I'm doing an article here on SEO, I would make that my first word. And then within the URL, you want to give a good description of what the people are going to be reading about. Typically, it's very similar to the title. And like I mentioned before, you want to use hyphens or dashes instead of underscores whenever you separate words in a URL. And keep the article as close to the domain name as possible. Like, don't have it 4 or 5 folders out. Now, I'm sure you've downloaded the WordPress SEO plugin before. I've talked about it in, I think, 3 other sections of the course. And so you get this box here, and you can type in whatever you want to focus this article on, the keyword you want to focus it on. So if we were focusing on SEO, it would check all of these things for us. And don't worry, this doesn't like put that keyword in the page anywhere or make it a meta keyword or anything like that. It's just for Yoast's purposes. And on the right here, you see this SEO poor, and you can click check, and it takes you to the page analysis tab of the plugin. And it tells you all the problems that it finds in there, as well as all the things you've done well. So obviously I only have 1 sentence in the body here. You would have more than that. Typically you want more than 1,000, as I mentioned in the intro, and even more in 2015. You want to use something called H1 and H2, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. Almost about 75% of the top 30 results had an H1 or H2, and these are basically subheadings. They just break up the material. They make it easier for people to understand what they're going to read. They give them an idea of what the next section is about. So within the body of your post, if you go to the little drop-down menu right above, you get a number of different options, and if you click heading 1, it's going to make the font bigger, and you can create a subheading here. And this is what we would call H1. And like I said, 70-some% of the top 30 websites have H1s. Now you can create an H2 also, and this could be right below it or in a different section of the article. Slightly smaller font. Now there was a little bit higher correlation between having the keyword you're trying to rank for in the H2 than there was in the H1. So if you include it in H2, it might improve your ranking just slightly. Now it says no images appear on this page, and if you go back to the study, it says image count 6.7. That means on average the top 30 results for those 10,000 keywords had 6.7 images. I would say for about 1,000 words, 8 would be sufficient. So if you find a picture on the web, or maybe you have one of your own, you save it, and you click Add Media at the top if you've never done this before, and you would just upload it to your WordPress dashboard, and you would see it there. Right, you click Select Files and then put it in there, and then you would just click on it and select Insert into Page. And so now you have your picture, and you can resize it. Now it's not going to be listed in the WordPress SEO plugin here, but video integration is also a ranking factor, positively correlated with a good search result. So you'll see it's almost as important as image count. So if you find a video, or maybe more than one video, like for instance this is SEO for startups. So you would go down below the video and you'd click Share, and you get 3 options here. If you click Embed, in case you've never done this before, you're going to get a piece of code here, and you just copy that piece of code. You go back to your dashboard, Scroll up to your article. And wherever you want to put it, you're going to click on the text tab at the top, and you're going to see the code that the search engines see whenever they're scanning your site, and you're going to insert it into the code. Right? Just click Control V. Then you can go back to the visual one, and you'll see it there. It'll just be a gray box. Don't worry about that. It's a video. Now it says my page title contains 36 characters, which is less than the minimum of 40. I mentioned in a previous section that Google will only display about 55 characters. I actually said to make it 53 or less to almost guarantee that every word shows up in the search results. Let's say I called this simple SEO for beginners. Instead of just SEO for beginners, I wanted to make people think that it was going to be really easy. Now, outbound links, or sometimes called external links, are positively correlated with a high ranking. You want to provide resource for people. There's nothing wrong with sending people to other websites. Just remember to use that open external plugin I talked about so that people stay on your page and the new link opens up in a different tab or a different window. So let's say we had this article on H1 headings, and we're talking about the importance of these. So we'd copy the link. So H1s are very important for rankings. And then you could paste the link. And you want to focus each post on one particular keyword or set of keywords. You don't want to have multiple pages competing for the same thing. Now, 98% of the top 30 results had a description for the page. They also have the keyword in the title, and the keyword in H2, as I said, was even more highly correlated with high ranking than having it in the H1. So if you go to your General tab, you can write the description. And that might be what shows up when people do a search for, I don't know, SEO for beginners. Google could also take their own description from something it finds within your article itself, but you want to have it. The keyword in the description has a small benefit. I wouldn't even call it a benefit. It could just be a random correlation. It's only 0.01. You can include the keyword in the description if you want. Google will most likely take your description from something within the article itself, though. So that's a basic rundown of the most important, as we would call them, on-page factors. Sometimes I refer to them as in-page factors, but these are all things that you definitely want to consider and that the plugin from Yoast makes really easy. But again, it doesn't mention the video integration, and it doesn't know some of these correlations that are found in the search metrics study. So just be sure to have all these things going on.